Let's see. This is earlier than usual, so I do wonder what kind of crowd we're going to get. I just turned it on. Stream, that is. Typically, I do a little bit of upkeeping here, sending messages and whatnot, but here I am. Kind of like the old days where I just turn it on and start speaking on to the camera. I speak on to thee. I don't know. A few projects that's going on right now. I guess I'm taking a pause on... Hey, Luca. Welcome, welcome. I'm taking a pause on the Dread on Arrival. Hey, McCory. Today. I'm not pausing forever, but today. Because that part still is mostly story writing, dialogue writing, which can be fun for some people. I mean, we can talk about story, but I kind of want to keep the story a bit of a secret. You know what I mean? Freshwater Fern says, Godot is for babies, but what if we are babies? Welcome. Welcome back, Freshwater Fern. I do remember you from our back and forth rating. Making friends is good. Blood Mage says, hi, Az. Oh, a lot more people are coming on today immediately. I guess this is the time. Maybe I should stream earlier. I just didn't want to overlap with Covino too much. But I guess it is what it is. Is there enough audience out here? That's the thing. We are babies, says Freshwater Fern. Indeed, we are. Freshwater Fern says, okay, love you, Lurk. Love you too. Columbugo says, Godot is not for babies. Well, we are all babies, but we're all adults. Somewhere in us, there's a traumatized baby that wants to be baby and wants to be allowed to be a baby. So let's keep it at that. If you remember this game, a little bit of reminder. I'm not sure if this version actually works or not, so let me see if it actually works. This is a Blood is Mana, where you're playing a deck builder, but you're controlling your character with the cards on the tactics field, I suppose, the isometric tactics thing. So you can discard cards to move that many spaces of the cost, so you don't have to spend money or spend your life. So your mana is your life. So that's the game. I think it's about time that we come back to it. I guess, what do I mean by that? I think what I mean is come back in a sense that we can develop and fix some of these like sprites, come up with better ones, more variety, add those relics that I didn't add, and then do more with it. And I think that'll be good. I'm not 100% sure on these like isometric sizing, if I like this, or if I should go with more what do you call, Into the Breach type. Into the Breach has a very specific angle, it's steeper. Gonna have to make a decision on that and then see what kind of other objects that can be on here. I definitely think there should be like campfires to invoke more of that feeling of mystery and maginess. So that's something I'm considering. There's going to be a lot of arting today, because I think the gameplay itself is pretty kind of thought out now. So there's not much else I can do here. Let's see. I'm going to walk the walk. I'll suckle first, I guess. Then strike. Strike. Ooh, Communion and OP. Walk, walk, communion, walk, walk. Anyways, I can't be distracted. I'm being distracted by my own game now. Blood Mage says, hello, Strawberry folks. Hey, you know what's funny? Blood Mage being here is kind of appropriate, given that we are Blood Mage. Hey, Celine. Celine/Sandbox says, boo, we are scared. I think for once I caught you in a non-sleepy hour, maybe? Maybe like by a few hours. McCurry says, the The Blood is Mana, the game I love because I min-max with Communion. Exactly. I mean, that's the fun part, like when you feel like you beat the game. Celine says, yeah, it's 7 p.m. here. Nice. Great. All right, so there were some, like, I started looking into this angle. You see how, like, you see the 2 1 1 2 1 1 2 1 1 angle, so that it's like more laid out instead of doing these like 2 2 2 2 2 2. This is actually the angle of Blood is Mana. Now I was trying to make, using the palette, make something more like how do I call this? More like rock-like, more tile-like, but I failed here. It looks like some sort of like craggly rock surface instead. So I'm gonna have to redo this. Let's see. It being mostly purple and green is good. I copied the style of, because if you look at Into the Breach, right? Let's see if I can open that window real quick. If you look at Into the Breach, which I like, I really enjoy, and I really like the images of it too, but it's like very crisp style. You can see like the borders are bright and then the center is dark. And they don't connect to each other. They are very distinctly a tile. It's not trying to fake the fact that they may be connected or not. It's just a tile. A tile is by itself its own. Yeah, like that. So I don't know if there's... Hold on. Let me see some images here. And I think that looks okay. Like, it feels pretty self-contained. Like right here, it goes up like that, even though it doesn't continue down this way. And right here, you can see that it goes up like this, but it doesn't connect to the next one necessarily. Yeah. So, we're probably going to use that as a lesson. Yes. Another thing is I definitely want to make the game itself 1080p and then use the inner game as like the scaled up version of something so it can have multiple different pixel sizes. That's something that I'm considering as well. This color is kind of weird because right now it looks like a grass patch in this like blue thing. So maybe I can make it so that it expands a little more. So like if I do something like this, maybe it'll connect more. Here's to hoping. I don't know what the idea is. Yeah, I think that might actually work better here. I'm gonna make this like this, and I think, honestly, maybe this like, this color needs to be a little bit subtler transition from here to here. Maybe brighter, slightly brighter. Yeah, and then try to make a little surrounding thing here. Yeah, I don't think I want to make the entire thing that color, but let's see. I want to see if I can do this. Yeah, it looks like it's like coming out a little bit if I do this type of shadow. And I think I don't mind this feeling a little bit three-dimensional here. So let's do that. And then have it exceed it a little bit, I think. Is not bad either. So I would do something like this, so that it looks like it's grass growing out here. And then I'll surround it with this dark color to give that feeling of definition. Let's see what that looks like. I think that's what we're looking for here. I'm looking at this as well because some of these lines are very too thick, I think. Sometimes a mistake does get made. Yeah, I don't think I can fill up all of them with color unless I change the darkness or brightness of these colors. Also, there's the sense of like, why am I fixing something that wasn't broken before? That is one regret slash feeling I have right now. Because some might say, this is perfectly fine. But I say, nay, must be better, must be more dimensional. More depth, please. And alas, it does take a long time to get this all right. This is the tricky part here. It's like if I want a gap here, this looks, look at this. It looks like a sawtooth here. It needs to be more, oh, thanks for the hydrate. Zuzu says, how did the interview go? Didn't go well. I didn't get it. I mean, I sensed it a little bit. I don't think, like if I was like just normal hire, I don't think it would have been bad. The way I ended up, what do you call, doing the interview. But I think given that I am a senior engineer, number of experiences or number of hours of experiences I have, years, I guess, more so. The way I perform probably is more like, oh, why am I not as like on point with it, you know? And that is because I haven't coded in corporate culture in a very long time. But it doesn't go anywhere. Don't get me wrong. It's not something that I'm like, oh, I'll never get it. It just does take time and practice. Because taking an interview itself, as I always say, is a very specific skill on its own. So yeah, that's, I mean, it went okay. I thought it was okay, but once again, it wasn't like, oh, I solved all the problems without a hitch at all. Like I was able to respond to any kind of like suggestions and questions. If I were interviewing myself, would I have hired myself is the main question. I would be like, I think I would have been mixed. I wouldn't have been like, it would have been like slight risk if I was interviewing myself, the way I performed. So like that could have gone either way. But alas, not at this time. I need to kind of thin this out. It's too thick here. I wonder if I need to change this dark color to something else. Maybe I need to change this to this color. No. Maybe it can be even... Yeah, that goes a little bit too hard, so I'm going to bring it down a little bit. Desaturate. Brighten up a little bit here. Because that still distinguishes the color. Right? And maybe a little bit darker. That's a little better. But welcome, Zuzu. Long time no see. McCoy says, didn't go well? What did they say? What happened? Without revealing info. I mean, I think the interview itself went well. We had a good conversation. We had problems answered. I mean, at the end of the day, it's answering problems. And then like talking about little coding here and there, how I would do it differently, or how I would solve it. And I think at the end of the day, we got to the solution. But I think the main thing that I probably lacked at the moment was like some of the suggestion took a little bit longer for me to be like, oh yeah, this is what you should do. Than probably someone would like at my current level. So for example, I can give you an example that's more specific. Like, let's say you have a problem, and not solving a problem is not like the end of the day when it comes to interview, right? Being able to talk about it is a thing. And you could say, okay, well, what do you think is the big O of this is? And then I say, hey, this, considering this. Yeah, I think this is it. And then somebody who knows the answer could be like, okay, so I noticed that you used this part. What is the big O of this? And I'll be like, oh, right, this is this big O. So that makes it actually change my answer. And that kind of works out because that's like, okay, well, you're able to communicate and work with feedback. But once again, in a screening level, sometimes, depending on what level you are, that could be like, well, you've worked in this space for 10 years. How come you're making this mistakes? Or why does it require me to like pick at it with you for you to answer? So that would be like, okay, well, maybe he's out of practice. It's just been a while. He hasn't me. And that could go either way, right? Like, it doesn't necessarily mean anything bad. But depending on your hiring threshold, that could mean like, okay, well, I don't think we want to spend extra resource trying to navigate this candidate when it would be cheaper to keep going with other candidates. So it's pretty understandable. That happens. I wouldn't be surprised if that's kind of the thoughts that they had. But yeah. So yeah, I mean, overall, I didn't feel terrible about it because I was like, okay, well, it could go either way. And then they got back to me. They were like, oh, not this time. This doesn't mean the door is closed, but at this point of time, we don't want to, I guess, move on. Yeah, progress with you, and that is the reality of it. I do wonder if I should make the blade a little thicker instead of doing these like abstract dots. It doesn't feel bad, but I kind of want to make it a little bit more. Hold on, what if I make this a little bit jagged? Well, I think that actually works really well. Kind of want to include this like dark spots inside of the tile as well, if I can help it. Because that gives that little texture. You see like this like grassy texture? Because it's organic, it's not straight. It's not straight. Without me saying it, you know what I mean. This grass is not straight. It's dork-sided. I don't know if anybody remembers that reference or watched old episodes of Wife Swap, I think, or something like that. Yeah, I think I'm gonna add a little bit of patches of dark here and make sure those are clumpy. Yeah. I don't want to do too much. The problem is that it's pretty dark. So it can look very high contrast. And if I go overboard with this shading, it could look like a shrubbery instead of grass. So I gotta be careful here to not get overzealous. Celine says, job interview sucks. Hey, I hope you got an outcome that doesn't make it too miffed. Yeah, no, I'm good. Zizgulu says, are you streaming on YouTube only? No, I'm streaming on YouTube and Twitch. Do I not include the Twitch? I guess I don't include Twitch link on YouTube description. I don't know why. I should probably do that. I think you can do here, Twitch. No, that's not a command. Here. What's my Twitch link? It is... That's why you see other chats, by the way. Zizigoo. But this is not the first time people asked. This has happened before. Okay, I think I kind of like where this is going here. I like this look. It's not too overbearing. It's kind of giving little grassy field. Most of the texturing is on the bottom and then the border. And I don't want distraction here. I do wonder if it should be more like... Let me see what it looks like without these like noise in the middle, let's say. Because the texture could be doing an enough job of creating that illusion of grassiness between this like tips and then the bottom part. If it does, it might be better without it. Oh, here, do one of these things. Okay. Not bad, not bad. It does seem like it does require a little bit of texturing though. Okay. Maybe this could be a little bit brighter instead of this. I'm just trying to make sure that this kind of shrubbery, organic feel stays. Do layers of shadow here, as it usually does happen. Only problem with these is that as it gets repeated, it can get really annoying, like and redundant. Even though I'm like doing this whole into the breach approach where things are repeating. Like it doesn't feel bad at that it's repeating. I guess the lines are pretty dark, so maybe I should go with that. Inner lines are very light in comparison, so maybe I should probably pump this up. Yeah. I wonder if the lines are a separate color and it's overlay or something. Let's see. Oh. Can't really zoom in here, can I? Just studying it up. The shading happens. Okay, I think the clear distinction is way to go. I do like this like bright center thing to indicate that this is a tile, so maybe that's what I need to do here. So I'm gonna up the brightness a little bit. Get to be less saturated probably. And then I'll do this. I don't know if it's going to work, but this is the most annoying part of the lining is doing this like even 2 1 1 2 1 1. You have to do this, otherwise it's going to look like a straight line. Oh, gee. CZ says, thanks. Oh, people Liam, hello. Post on general. I'm guessing you already did. People Liam is adding picture to our little frame here. My back color light broke. As you can see, I don't have a light here. Oh, actually, I do need to turn this on, though. I have a background light. Hold on just a second. Let's see. I'm guessing you already posted on the general, right, People Liam? Hi. Celine says, I will leave mostly because I need to lock in with my art project. Oh, okay, bye. Have a good time, Ezra. Also, that story doc, I'll be able to work on it after next Wednesday. That's fine. So don't expect any updates till then. Also, with ITB, yeah, I'm pretty sure the highlights are just shader-esque overlay, like a sprite image that gets overlaid on top of the tile, but underneath the props. Let's start with the ITB modding once before, and I think that's how it was specified for custom tile modders. So you're saying that the outline is its own overlay? Bill Williams says, I see you're working on Blood is Mana. Cool. Yeah, I'm reworking the images so I can kind of work on it again. I'm back to it for a little bit because it's fun. I like working on it. All right, let's get this going. Let me get Bib Williams' pixel art on my frame, as I should. first, background light. Boom, boom. Second, let me download. You submitted 2 points of that. Let's see what kind of pixel art you have. I still do general oh, okay. More? Do you want them in a very specific position or do you just want them anywhere? All right. Jeez. William, it's funny how everybody just likes to put the same image over and over again onto the frame, but different versions of it. Like Sandbox also has that little yippee guy. Okay. Here you go. Celine says, yeah, the outline is its own layer. If you imagine layers on an art project, that's how I'm guessing, guesstimating it is. Overlaid on top of, yeah. So I think I do, if that's the case, then I need to make this a separate layer, the outline layer. It's kind of annoying. But that makes sense because it depends on the biome. I think you would want to change the outline color. Like what's the main color of the scene. So that's kind of smart. I wouldn't have thought about that, doing it that way myself. All right. Adding a pixel art here. There it is. Oh my gosh, it's actually moving now. Wait, I didn't realize it was a GIF or GIF. Wait, did both of them get edited or only one? Seems like only one got edited. Hold on. Is that true? Was it the green one? And then the green one. There you go. So we got the yellow animation one and then the green one, I think. There it is. Oh, I combined them. I made a mistake. Whoops. Okay. So it wasn't supposed to be 2 as a flashing, which is kind of an interesting effect I added. I suppose I'll delete that. Well, now I know. Now I can do that. All right. We got the images in there. Oh, but, Biv Williams says, oh, but what? Biv Williams says, also you can take down the tomato one. Wait, what? Sandbox says, it's just the sprite that has opacity, I see. Biv Williams says, I have green one with green eyes. Okay. And I'll take down the tomato, I guess, as you said. Since that is your request, Tomat is gone. So his eyes can shine. Oh, you want the... Do you want the image one? Do you want me to make it into a GIF? Is that what you're saying? Oh, hold on. I'll be back. I'll be back! All right, I'm back. Okay. Let's see. Let's get that eyes to be shiny. Oh, are you saying... Hold on. Oh, no. Celine, I know you say you're going to go. I keep asking questions. Also, more importantly, they have more than one type of highlight. Like there's different warning symbols for tsunami or the landmarker, etc. Well, I'm talking about this, like... This center bit is that considered a highlight? I know. Hold on. Let me see what some of the overlays look like. No, right? It's just an overlay. That center bit is part of the tile itself. Yeah. So he says, also I lied. I decided to say, well, thanks for staying. Let's see. Anyways, okay, so I'm going to do this center bit real quick. You know when you know. Like, oh, that's not that bad. So this bit, I think, can be, oh, like that. Cool. I don't know how I feel about this. Should it be darker? Is it too bright? Oh, this one goes from dark to, or bright to dark. And, but then the snow, oh, huh. Does it always go from bright to dark? No, it doesn't. This one goes from dark to bright. I think it's just a decision I need to make. Also, it's not centered. There you go. What is this? Though it looked more centered when it was above, when it was like 1 pixel up. This looked better. Okay. I wonder. I need to think about this one. Columbogo says, go to his Twitch stream chat. He may see the message then. Now, I already talked to Portia. That's why I had to run out. I had to be like, oh, shoot. Sometimes when I'm streaming, I can't hear any IRL stuff. But here I am. All right, there you go. Is that more acceptable, maybe? Maybe? I don't know. It's not very unassuming, I have to say. Do I flip it? No, I can't. I mean, I feel like part of me is like, it doesn't look that bad. But part of me also is like, it doesn't make sense. I mean, they do it pretty drastically here. The color changes. And selection seems like it's like almost inverted. Gotta think about this. I mean, if it reads, so I guess it doesn't matter. Also, the difference in value is not that big, actually. It can be a little bit darker. Like, nothing crazy. Like that. Maybe that's a little bit better. Oops. There you go. I think that's not too bad. Not as disruptive. That means I think I might need to clean this part up a little bit. Oops. Have it not come up so much. There you go. Yeah. B. William says, I've sent the GIF version. Okay. Columbogo says, lol might be. No, it's okay. Oh, there's a GIF version. All right. This is a bonus. I'll add this on top of the ones that you've already submitted. One of these, oh, there it is. Next. Boop. We got it. It's flashing now. Okay, I think it looks actually pretty good. It looks profesh. Yes. I also got to make sure these layer up nicely, which will change the game entirely. Honestly, this is going to be a huge surgery because it changes the tile size. Though I guess if I did everything right, it should work without any problem with some configuration changes. So, oh well. All right. What else? Let's think about this. So the line might be its own thing. Is that a problem? I don't think. I like the mountains, but I don't think there would be any mountains for this game itself. Do you? No. Also, I could do, you know what? For the line thing, if I make the line a very specific extreme color, like completely white, which I'll never use in my pixel art, then I can always replace it programmatically with the renderer. Right? Like that. So that might actually work out better for me. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to use a shader to replace these colors based on what biome we're on. Yeah. It also looks kind of cool when it's like lit up like that. But it's really hard to tell if it is doing what it's supposed to do. So how about this? I'm going to select this outline and then make a layer for outline boundary. And then basically do one of these. So I can hide it to see it. And then we're going to put some backdrop with some color so I can see the art better in good contrasting field. Great. This is a great grass field. I think it beats whatever this was. It's a great upgrade, I think. Thematically, grass is good, but I think I do need some sort of like cave ground now. So let's make this, yeah, white. Like so. I'm going to make the next one here. I guess I should make one that is the base instead of having to copy one every time. So I guess the base one, let's see. Do like this. I'm going to copy this over. And then fix this boundary right here to be the base. Okay. So we got 2, 1, 1, 2, 2, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2. Ooh, Celine said a bunch of stuff. That's it. Says, Sandbox says, the urge to make you add an image that says go away. Hey, you have the ability. Also says, oh, Ezra, if you want a variable length for your tiles, like the way they don't have harsh 45-degree angles, look into dual layer grid. That might be the solution to your problems. Interesting. The way it works is that it has 2 layers, the working layer and the visual layer. The working layer is offset by half a tile, so you need to have your props also offset by the same amount. But otherwise, it will work well, I think. I think that's a great idea. I think hopefully I remember it by the time I get to it, I think. But it is a good thought to have in my head, so I appreciate that. So he says, also, lets you do things like have terrain that has weird shapes for relatively small tile sets. Okay. It's true. Having those half steps do help in that way. You can have mixed tiles. I remember something like that when I was... oh. Whoops. Well, I guess it seems that it wants me to transition over immediately instead of elongating it. So let's do that. I didn't know there was a mod in Into the Breach. I never played a modded version of Into the Breach before. I wonder, is it better? Is there like more exciting experience on it? Like more land and terrain? I wonder what can be modded. Anyways, yeah. Responding to Sandbox saying they can't give me the story until whatever. Well, actually, I'll be out of town for a bit. Not a lot. I'll be out of town between Thursday to Tuesday, I want to say. So obviously no stream. I'm going to places. Specifically a thing called Coachella. I know. It's my first... well, not first, but I've definitely never been. So it'll be interesting. Do I record some stuff there so I can have my travel blog? By the way, I still have a bunch of recording. Not a good footage, but it's, you know, it's an okay footages from my Japan trip, which I need to make travel blog with. That could be a fun thing to do since I'm trying to travel more in general. Gives me reason to make a vlog for Boston, 2 different versions of it. Yeah. Anyways. Okay, so grass field, we want a kind of cave floor. I don't want to be too crazy with the color scheme, as in, like, I don't want to deviate too much. I think the cave floor can be more along the lines with this. A lot of jagged lines with the central piece being open. So I think we can choose our base color here. And then we can go darker from this. Maybe this. Yeah. Cool. And then I think actually, let's see, something. I mean, I feel like I keep going back to this color. It's a pretty good color that works really well. It simplifies the, I guess it really does simplify the look of it. But I think what it can do actually is do have this effect. And this can be more like jagged rock surface. Not, I guess it's less rock surface, but more cracked surface that feels jagged. I'm going to clean up some of these lines so that they don't double up too much in the corners. So it looks clean. Do minor surgery here and there. Not bad. Looking pretty good here from here. It's a little bit too thick over here, so I'm going to pull it back a little bit. Like that. It does hurt my eye because contrast is really low, so it's really hard to see the details, but I think that's okay. I am basically copying it, but it's just more taking it as an inspiration. It seems like they do a little bit smaller increments of circles. That might do a better job of making that description, I guess. Something like that. I like to take heavy inspiration from things. And then do one of these. I'm looking at this carefully to make sure none of it looks too regular. Yeah. Maybe a smaller increments are actually a good thing. This one doesn't look as good as the grass. I have to take new inspiration here. Let me think. Cracked surface. Cracked surface. Let me take a darker color. Also, I can't get myself to not mistakenly use the same layer as where I was starting out in. Like, this is nice and all, but this isn't, it's not inspiring. Let me look at more. Tile set, cave floor. Let me do some research here. These are more dirt cave. I guess there's an option for that. For more rundown places. But what about like dungeon floor? Dungeon floor. These like tiled look. Okay. With a little bit of raised rocks, right? Old school rock raising. Cool. I like that. Don't want to be too even. This is good, except this could look very watery. Kind of looks like a wave, so in some sense. Sandbox says, I return with a cup of tea. Oh, tea time. Nice. I do hope you enjoy your tea. I'm doing a little bit of research here. Okay, I kind of like this feel a little bit better. It's hard to do it in a tile way that doesn't feel completely repetitive, but I think we can come up with some ways by using the trick of the shadow. And we shall use the trick of shadow. So what we're going to do here is clearly we're going to provide some level here. And we do that by doing one of these. Right, already it's a raised, little bit of a raised field here. Or a raised floor in some sense. And then once we have the raised floor, let's see. I guess I could still do the 1, 1, 2 thing. Oops. 2. Give it a little bit of more thickness there. Good. A little bit of raised. And then I think we want to show division, like these like geometric division in the shadow. Like so. And then I'm going to try to delete some of these details. So it's dividing it this way. And obviously you want to raise this brightness on the corners like this to make it look more tiley, right? Because the edges catch light, right? The problem is this jaggedness makes it more organic looking than not. So we might actually need to just do different type of lining here. I gotta do one of these things, I think. At this point, it doesn't look good. Fruit Superman says the shadow jutsu. Indeed, it is a shadow jutsu. Celine says, what we up to now? We're trying to make more of a dungeon floor, cave floor now on top of, because we already have the grass thing. I think that would be great, like entry outside, like the overgrowth area. But I also want a lot of it to be kind of like the dungeon floor. So I'm trying to get that part in. Hi, Drac. Long time no see. Celine also says you could do that with like 2 tile sets and applying rotations, although rotation with perspective is tough. Yeah, the rotation on pixel art, when it's smaller pixel, it can get really tricky. Celine says, I've also seen people do it with 2 tile sets again, where there is a base and the effect set. So you apply the base tile set with basic images, then the effect is overlaid with like outline of bricks, etc., like modular texture. I mean, that could be really fun. I have to say, though, I'm a little bit reluctant with those techniques because I have so much like if I was as bold to say a control issue, so to speak. All right, hold on. The problem, I feel like, because of this jaggedness, without anti-aliasing, it's hard to not see the jagged. Which is the problem, but I think it's okay. I think we can work with it. Ezra has control issue. You heard it here first. Yeah. I think this might work, actually. For example, I don't know if it's the color issue that I need to fix, but and give it a little scruff. Because if there's repeated patterns of these, I don't think it'll look too bad. I might actually add one more color for kind of the feel of anti-aliasing. And the more jagged spaces. Like so. Darker. And then got to remember we want to do this type of like brightness in the center or darkness in the center thing. So I guess I don't know if it should be dark to bright or bright to dark. Track says, hey, you remember me. Yes, I do. I don't have that many viewers. I remember most of my viewers. Let's see. Celine says, oh, yeah, no, I get that, Lamau. I get kind of the same way, but with performance, which is really annoying because I know something is consequential to performance, but I'm like, must optimize during coding. Yeah, it's our little quirk. It's our little obsession. That's what makes us artists, not just executioners. Celine says, but if you did want to do that technique, I was watching a video a few days ago where a person described how they did it. Hey, I would love to see the video. Share it in the resource or whatever. They kind of extracted the layers, drew the tile as they wanted, and then separated the layers by hand afterwards so it looked how they wanted it to look. That's pretty cool. I'll take a look. I mean, I'm not gonna knock it till I try it in some sense. I'm gonna put a little bit of cracks and scuffs here. I suppose. Let's see. Like this one is slightly darker, but I think I could take a saturated darkness and use that as kind of, maybe it's too saturated. Yeah. Something that's like not too dark. And do one of these things. Let's see if how that kind of works out for us. Okay, that automatically adds a feeling of dimensionality, so we don't want that. I think I want it to be a little bit more divisive. Maybe this is okay. I mean, do I even need that other stuff? But then I do need that. I need it to stand alone. I need it to look like it's a tile. All right. I'll do that then. Here, I got it. That's okay. Then we can have something like that. There you go. Not bad. Okay, that kind of looks like it has a vein instead of a crack. It looks like it's popping out instead of going in. So I'm gonna take a little bit more care there with where I put the highlight. A veiny dungeon floor. You heard it here first, folks. Veiny dungeon floor is in. Gross. Okay. That's not the kind of channel we're running here. For sure. Let's see. I do wonder if I can just like... maybe I just add pepper and a little bit of darkness. Drex says, I have joined this to get work along kind of feeling. I'm actually working on Golang application. I hope you don't mind that. Of course. Hey, do what you need to do. We are co-working here. Hey, Void. Void says, the one known as Void greets the esteemed developer Ezra. And you are greeted. Sandbox says, I'll see what I can, if I can find the video. Find it, Lamau. Firefox isn't the best for saving history. No, it isn't. So I have zero clue if I'm going to be able to find the video. Oh, I mean, don't kill yourself over it, I guess. If you find it, it's cool, but if you don't, it's okay. I'm sure I'll remember this idea and try to look for it in the future. Let's see. Celine says, I really want to make a joke, but I'm sure it's going to get your channel nuked if you say it out loud. Nuked? Like banned? Really? My gosh. What are we working with here? Okay, this is too thick. I think I definitely want to make sure that it looks like it's not an extra dimension. It needs to look more like a spotlight. You know what? I think I'm going to do that here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to create a kind of like lighten layer. And then we're going to just color this in. We're just going to color this in right here, which I guess is about, what are we doing here? Right here. Do 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 boop boop boom 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 boom. Do the same here. I'll do this. At some point I need to start going up. I guess this is where I would go up. like that. Yep. And hopefully this will simply solve all my problem by just applying color overall instead of there you go. And what I'm going to do here, I'm going to try to use a property and not the color burned. Soft light overlay. I mean, soft light is probably good. And then we're going to change the soft light color, I think, to be a little bit brighter. There you go. And then we'll change its kind of texture, I guess. You know what? That's actually not bad. It's just showing that there is a, like, something going on, I think. Only problem is that it doesn't look centered, so I'm going to have to move this over like this so I can... Whoops. I got to pick up its color as normal. Do one of these. And then property. Hard light is not bad either. This has been a little bit more soft light. Maybe shift it more towards here. And I think what I'm going to do here, this type of texture right here, this crack, I'm not going to include this here actually. I'm going to do it in the spot where there's less light, essentially. So I'll do cracks somewhere like this. And then maybe over details here. A little bit. There you go. Not too bad. I actually don't like it being on the same side, actually. Let me put it over here. Yep. Yep, and then add some lighting. Like so. Cool. Boundary. Not bad. Got some surface. I don't know how it's going to look in repeat, but alas, this is where we are. Then he says, I'll send in the member channel. You can chuckle to yourself. I already know what it's going to be, I feel. Let's see. Oh my god. Oh yeah. Yeah. No, I don't think it'll nuke my channel in the sense of like yeah. It's definitely not kosher. I admit to that. Okay, so we have the tiles here. We have the dungeon floor. What's something else I need to add here, right? I think I was saying some sort of like... I think it might be important to think about different type of dungeon, right? So for example... Oh, definitely water is something I need to add for sure. And then also I want to think about like what it means, like what kind of terrain interactions do you have? Because Into the Breach, and I think that's a pretty important part about tactics game is that you are moving around. It's not all about position. I feel like there needs to be consideration for different advantages of standing in certain surfaces. Let's see. APOC says, how is it going? How much progress do you have into this game? Well, this one is playable. This game, The Blood is Mana, which I'm working on right now. I'm reworking on. I worked on it for Pirate Gem, so there is a playable version that's complete on my itch if you go there. So it's technically done. But what I'm doing right now is I'm making improvements. Not just bug fixes and making it work better, but more specifically adding more intentional art, more variety, more pizzazz, so to speak, and some of the features that I haven't added yet. So, yeah, I don't know. What do you say that? That's like... So I'm in the reworking stage of the game. Epoch. Eugenia Kuznetsova. Eugenia Kuznetsova says, "Hi, what is the name of the image editor app? This one is called Asprite. It's a very popular editor app for pixel art. It's really good. There are a lot of tutorials on it. It is not free if you want to buy a built one, but it is an open source available code where you can build it yourself. So that's an option." Sunny says, "Spike trap that steals one." Ooh, I love that. You know what though? That's not a like. I feel like okay. So a few things. We have terrain, base terrain. But also, I'm going to overlay some objects on top of it, right? Like the rock, the blocking thing, and stuff like spike, I think, can be on top of things. And it would be cool if the spike animation, so for example, has built-in like... Yes. Okay, yeah. I like it. Exactly. Well, there should be a prop. That should be a prop, but should be terrain that synergizes with blood mechanic. I think so too. Yeah. I think that's a... I mean, that's what I'm saying. I want to have something where the terrain actually matters, like that you're standing on, that has a very specific strategical advantage. I mean, we have this basic stuff, and we have this. You know what's funny? It would be cool if like your blood is life, right? Your blood is life and blood is magic. So like if you spill blood, what if everything is basically craving blood in this dungeon? So if you spill blood on surfaces, they do different things. Like life sprouts out of it. And that can be good or a bad thing. I think that could be a pretty interesting, cool, and scary mechanic, I think. Epoch says, "Oh, very nice, yes." Sunny says, "Spike trap, oil-coated floor that won't let blood..." Ooh, I love that. Or well, like the... That, what is that game where you have a pipe and there's a mini game for it in BioShock where you have liquid coming out of one end and you're supposed to like rotate the pipe in order to get the liquid to the other end. Some sort of like well that like starts the process of the flow. That'd be cool too. And of course, yeah. Also, I think there's going to be a relic that says blood is lava or the floor is lava or something like that, to kind of play with that common concept. Let's see. I do have dentist appointment soon. I do have a dentist appointment soon today for my regular checkup / cleaning. So that's also why I started early today. So I just got to be mindful of all the time that's going on here. That's why I'm looking down. Voice says, "Is there a fountain that if the blood spills on it, overflows with blood around it?" I think there should be, if there isn't one already. I love these ideas. Okay, hold on. That could be really cool. Okay, so we have dungeon floor, we have the grass floor. Do you think is there enough to start working on props now? I feel like there should be water. There definitely should be water. It would be cool. It would be cool to have some sort of interaction in the water as well. No, but then it's not outside in the nature, so I guess it's not really necessary. I don't know. Celine says, there's certainly enough to start working on the props, but you should probably add more tiles as time goes on. I mean, while I have my brain in this like tile mode, I kind of want to like add more to it if I can help it. That's why I'm just kind of trying to think of it. Well, the game itself is going to go very similarly to Enter the Gungeon. We've already explored the... What do you call... We've already explored the kind of this story, so to speak, before. For example, this right here. I mean, the idea is you're entering. Why? I do not know. Why are you entering this place? Who knows why? Something like that, I guess. To seal or to steal? That's also a question. Drax says, quick question. Have you worked on Golang? I have not. I am not familiar with it. Eugenie says, hi, what is the name of the image editor? Oh, no, I already answered that, didn't I? The art is so good. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. First Superman says, what about a trap tile? I think we definitely want a trap tile, but I think trap is almost... Oh, like a trap door? Like a trap that falls through? Huh. I feel like anything can be a trap tile. Also, actually, I do want to add one more thing, by the way. That reminds me. So Into the Breach has these like side right here, the wall side. I definitely need to make the wall version of every single one of these tiles as well, don't I? Right? So I got to do that. Kyrovert, thanks for the follow. Let's see. Celine says, definitely revisit the tile later after you have small set ready for deving. Yep. Fruit Superman says, what about trap tile? Yeah, I really want trap tile, but I'm not sure if that should be a prop, like a prop on top of the tiles, or tile effect, like how Into the Breach, you know, how the tiles can fall through. Drax says, are you streaming on different sites? I'm on Twitch as well. That's why there are other people talking and you can't see them. Let's see. Celine says, check member chat. I spoiled a funny joke. Uh-oh. Oh, nice. That's right. Oh, yeah. Thanks for taking notes. Oh, Selena is such a nice viewer / helper here in the channel. I appreciate it. Drax says, I thought they were in Discord. Oh, I mean, sometimes they are, but most of the times while I'm streaming, I'm checking Twitch and YouTube. I wouldn't know how to make Discord chat appear on the... Is it on this side? No. Yeah, it is on this side. The little chat window. Thanks for the follow, APOC. McQuarrie says, oh no, I already read that. Voice says, indeed. Hi, McQuarrie. They're saying hi. First Superman says, your pixel art style is very similar to the one of a game called Prime Mover. What? Game. Oh, much better than my style. I would love to be in this style. This is like a very much a retro intense style. I do like this. This is great. the reason I can tell this person is really skilled is because this pixel artist, you can tell they hand anti-aliased. I keep saying anti-aliased the art by hand in a very like smooth way. You see how these like lines sometimes feels very smooth. You can see it more on this. There was on this hand. Look at this. Look at this line. Very smooth. But this looks like a pretty cool game though. Like right here. Anti-aliasing here. I need to learn all this. I don't actually have a very mathematical approach on anti-aliasing. It's just like, oh, I guess it needs to go to that color, so I'm going to just shift it over. But I'm sure there's a way to do it. Very cool. I mean, hey, look, I'll take the compliment when I can. But yeah. But this, so we're saying we're going to go in. Chirovert is smiling. Well, okay. Bunch of stuff. I think I'm going to make a water tile. Also, it seems like, I don't know if I can do this on... You know, something that's cool about Into the Breach is that this tile is slightly below this tile. There are two different levels. And I think I might have to do that. Two different levels. Oh, I was saying I got to draw the wall. Okay, so let's do the wall drawing here. So we have the boundary. We have the layer, which is the surface. And we have the line, which is the center. I do need to create... the walls. Like so. So the walls, I suppose I get to decide how tall the walls are. I'm going to get rid of this actually. Don't need this. Would come down from here. For the dirt patch, I mean, I want to make it as simple as possible. So let's say the boundaries of the wall. I wonder if it needs to be separate or not, but 2. So I'll start from here. It goes straight down, right? Goes straight down. And then this also goes... Oh, they did it. That's at the point here. I'm gonna have to make one of them shorter than the other, unfortunately. And then I suppose, is it cringe if the art style or the angle of this feels too much like Into the Breach, like it invokes it? Because what I want to do is like, oh yeah, stylistically you can see the inspiration, but I don't want it to feel immediately like Into the Breach. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? Like, I don't want people to be like, wait a minute, this is Into the Breach. Because the game style is completely different. So I still want it to feel and look different. And my concern right now is that, does this style, I know for a fact that I use softer colors than Into the Breach. As it stands right now, does it look like Into the Breach? That's a question to have. I don't know. I don't know. Let's see. Put down a little bit of dirt here. Celine says, how do I anti-alias, you ask? I dither and dither and add more dither. You want better anti-aliasing? That's right, more dithering for you. If you squint your eyes hard enough, then you start to anti-alias the artwork without having to do any work. Big brain. Nymphy says, man, is your mic good? What is it? What audio card does it need? Also, I'm sorry. No, it's okay. It requires a lot of work to set the mic, but thank you. I do put in a lot of work for the mic. This is called Beacon, but you can pretty much get any mic. Like, honestly, even the, what do you call? Yeti is a great starting mic to do it. You just need to be able to shape the color. I like Beacon because it comes with this like inbuilt equalizer. Without this, it looks pretty bad. It's all about compressing appropriately and then taking out a lot of the resonance that are muddy, and then treating the room minorly. I have a little bit of echo prevention, but I don't have a lot. I have direct walls. I have a wall here and then the surface up here because I'm facing the wall here as well, and then directly above me. But thanks. I'll show you. I think if I flatten it out, it's not going to sound as good. But I don't want to do that. I don't want to mess this up. But yeah. Well, I'm glad to hear that. I do get rid of the bass a lot when I'm making a video over the music, because that's one trick. Okay. Voice says, don't know, haven't played Into the Breach. Great. So you are my audience. Kareem says, hey, cool to see you streaming. I started my own deck builder project with your videos as starting point. Thanks a lot. Hey, no problem. I love to hear and see all the people that are enjoying making the game because of that. It really is making my time worth, honestly. I feel like it feels worth it. Let's see. Thanks for the follow, Nymphy. Nymphy says, thanks, great insight. No problem. Let's see. So I already put shadow here. So like this, doing this like catching light thing on the side, I don't know if it's actually going to work because it might not make sense, right? I might just have to kind of accept that it's not going to go anywhere and start dividing it. So without the, let me get rid of the boundary and just do one here. So I guess I could still technically do this here. On this side, it's not as like, what do you call, erroneous. A little bit of overgrowth here. And have it a little bit jagged out. Like so. And then it needs to go into the dirt patch. So I think I'm going to transition over to the redder side, but the transition from green to red actually goes through the middle, as you can see right here. If I go from here on the color wheel to something more dirty like this, you go through the center, right, of the color wheel. Doesn't mean you go through here because it gets brighter, but what that means is that transition requires graying. Because gray in comparison to cool color, so right, if I go gray here, if I write this down, look, it's the same color. You see this trick? This is crazy. So I went gray. There's no saturation. And I just put it on green, and look what it looks like. It looks warm. It looks red, right? But then if I use that same technique on the red color, it'll look cool. So it's relative. So that's why I'm saying here, if I want to go into the little bit dirty color and still make it look harmonious, you do shift it towards red a little bit, but mostly you want to do a lot of dropping of the saturation to make it go warmer, so to speak. Is how I would see it. I do want to make it darker though. Yeah, pretty cool stuff. I mean, I always find what do you call, color theory intriguing. Let's see. Ooh, Nymphy says, YouTube! Oh, wow, we found it. I didn't realize these commands were... Oh, wait. I did say command on the title. I was like, how did you know there was a command? Alon says, first time watcher, how often do you stream? What's your schedule? Good luck from a fellow Godot. I do stream quite often. I mean, almost daily during the weekdays. If I do skip it, I announce it on Discord typically. But this weekend is a bit of an exception because I am going out of town, so I will be away. But yeah, I mean, definitely once a week, twice a week, 3 times a week, I guess. So today, and I might not have time tomorrow because I do need to pack. So this week we're done, I think, unfortunately, because I am going from Thursday to Tuesday on a trip. But I will be back. I will be back on after that. Okay, this is a wrong boundary, actually. The boundary should have been 1 pixel closer. Like so. There you go. That's better. But yeah. But after that trip, I'm pretty sure I'll be here mostly every day, I want to say. I mean, that's the goal, at least. There you go. Okay. Let's think about this a little bit. I think I do want to give it a little bit of cooler, shadier, dark to give that edge of the grass feel, which will be difficult, but I think we can make it happen. A little bit of overgrowth here. And then make it go like this. Just a little color. Technically, I want to put the highlight over here, but since we're doing this thing, we just want to keep it as consistent as possible. I'm looking at this part right here, the little mini preview, to make sure that the image reads as I intend. There you go. Okay. A little blocky here. I'm going to fix this a little bit. Nymphy says subbed CVR CVL. Okay, I'm sorry. Control R, Control L. I don't know. I don't know what that means. Sorry. I'm too old for all these terms. Also, dual platform streaming is kind of insane for your coverage. Props for the effort. Oh yeah, no problem. I said no problem like you were saying thank you. I do too, because I started out on YouTube, and when I was like, I'm gonna do Twitch stream, and they were like, we're members. Hello. And I'm like, okay. All right. So it's fair. It's a fair point. So so here I am, streaming on both. Twitch hasn't yelled at me yet for having 2 chats posting on the screen, so I'm going to keep on doing that. Okay. All right. Still looks a little flat, unfortunately. And I think it has a lot to do with the coloring. I wonder if I do this. That actually might be better. Just going completely dark. Don't even pretend there's any other color there. You know what? I'm going to do that. Because it just needs to have that feel a little bit. Just not... doesn't have to be actually detailed. Once again, art is all about illusion of detail rather than actual detail, I think. In some sense, illusion of detail looks much better than actual detail, especially in game art. Am I delusional? Maybe. I think I believe in it, actually. Cool. Maybe we drip it down a little bit longer here. And then I'm going to put down this layer out like this. And we're going to go probably do these like dirt particle slash things. And we'll probably go like this. This kind of like the texture boundary. I always love these boundaries of where the light becomes dark. because that's an opportunity to add a little bit of like story to the texture. Let's see. Kareem says, I really want to learn making pixel art like this. Looks great. Thank you. It's a lot of practice, but you know, it can be very technical, which is a good news actually for people who are just getting started. Because there's a lot of like, oh, you just make it and then you fix it and then eventually it'll look good. Oh, thank you. Thanks a lot. So like, can I improve, or like, is it just you have it or you don't? And the good news is that it is not you have it or you don't. I think a lot of times it can be improved and worked on. There are tons of intuition, of course, but a little bit of technique can go a long way. I'm gonna make this brighter, actually. Yeah, that's a little better. And the set technique is something like this, where I preach this quite often, but try not to detail in the actual surfaces, especially in pixel art. Try to do most of your detailing in the boundaries of the color. So boundaries of the shading. That's a huge one to make it describe. Oh, hydrate. Thank you. Thanks, Nymphy. And ask me any questions. Alon says, first time watcher, how often do you... Oh, I already answered this. Nymphy said dual platform, blah, blah, blah. What, did I miss anything? Ah, man. Celine, I missed your message. Sorry, I keep getting behind on these. I don't know what's happening. Sandbox says, I mean, Ezra, you don't have to have tile edges, you know. You could have a border that changes depending on how deep you are in the dungeon. Okay. Noted. I like that. Clip it or somehow save it, I guess. Quaver says, I don't think it would feel like Into the Breach that much, but if you want to completely avoid it, I would suggest you either choose a completely different theme, like Cyberpunk or something, or go for a complementary, or try out a color palette. One thing to note also is that Into the Breach uses desaturated colors with dim lights. Oh, I see. Well, I mean, I'm already completely different theme in that mine is more like high fantasy with the elements of magic, and it's more small scale, as opposed to Into the Breach is basically sci-fi, I think. Right? It is a sci-fi, I would think. So I'm not too worried about it. It's just that I just don't want it to be like immediately be like, I've seen this art before. I've seen that before in like Celeste copies, right? I've seen a lot of Celeste copies where it's like, oh, this is Celeste Plus, where it just feels like Celeste Plus, which I don't like. So I think this is okay. Maybe one more layer of darkness. Darkness. I haven't heard that since I quit League. Yes, that's right. I used to be a League player. Am I ashamed of myself? Maybe. Maybe not. Oops. Just a little bit of texturing here to go consistently with everything else. Nothing crazy. This doesn't look half bad, right? I think this does its job. Look at that. Yes. I wonder if I can let's see what it looks like with this. Yeah, I think this one needs to be different, definitely. Let's make one more wall. We love building walls. Oh, don't. Okay. Actually, don't quote me saying that. People might mistake me for a different type of crowd. That's not where I am. Jeez, Celine says, thy words hath been clipped. When I mean clipped is something else entirely, not your response to me. Okay, I see. Thank you. Thank you for saving. Victor says, what's up? Hope you are having a good day. We are indeed. We are having a fabulous day. We're just doing some art here. Because I'm back on the Blood is Mana train, my other game that I've been working on. I have several games I'm working on, I noticed. Not a bad thing. I'm working on my main game that I want to publish. By the way, I made a developer Steam account, so I'm waiting for text review. Though I feel like I should make a separate Steam account for, what is it? Specifically for... Oh, you know what? I don't want to do the boundary in a center now that I think about it. Also, shoot, wrong layer. Keep doing this. Steam account for a company. Because I think I should do that. Because if I'm starting to do like rev share or like paying contractor out, I think having an LLC really helps with the tax situation. So I need to be smart about this. That's something that I need to do that I haven't thought about. Let's see. I don't know if the boundary should be dark or not. I guess it could be. It could be just some color like this. Yep, there it is. Okay. Next one. We want to get to the boundary. Select this. Come to the wall. I suppose this could be something like that to start. I think, actually, do this and hit this. I suppose this could be more like this. 2 1 1 2 1 1 2 1 1 2 1 1 2. I don't know if it should be darker. Might regret this color decision. We'll see. We shall see. Almost 2 a.m. Wow, Nymphy. All right, enjoy the art. Enjoy the smooth voiceover, good mic, and equalizer. Gotta go sleep now. Bye, Nymphy. Thanks for stopping by. Hope to see you. Celine says, you quit League? Thank God you finally learned what a shower is. Hey, I take my showers. I promise. Yeah, no, I quit League a long time ago because I was like, well, this is not going anywhere. I don't think I'm enjoying this experience too much. I also want to be competitive in games that are actually popular with younger folks, not just play with another millennial. You know, gotta get with the time. Well, that's not the main reason, but that's kind of part of the reasons. I am currently enjoying Marvel Rivals quite a bit. I don't know what that makes me. It makes me something. At least, I think. I guess this doesn't work here. I think what I'm going to do is probably put one down here like this. And let's see. I think I could put that right here like that. Maybe don't do this part. And then have this go darker. You're shifting darker. So we'll go there. cut this out, maybe even darker. Like that. That's not too bad, I don't think. The light direction is a little bit confusing, but I think it's okay. Because I could just as well do this. I guess I could do this. That might work. Darker on this side. Oh, they do darker on one side. Maybe I should do that. Here, I'm gonna up this darkness, probably this, and then this goes right here. Like that. Let's do that. So we're gonna drop this darkness one more. Do that, do that. This goes like that. This one can just simply go darker, I think. There you go, 3-dimensional coloring or whatever. I think this can actually be a little bit more saturated, honestly, for that extra flavor. Yeah. Let's see. Cryver says, lol, by the way, this is my first time using Twitch. Oh, well, welcome to the Twitch land. I mean, I don't think there's much complication other than just enjoying the content that is provided. There's not much else going on here, I think. What if I did this? A little bit of shiny brick. Is that weird? Maybe. I don't think it's terrible. There you go. I think that's not bad. And then, let's see. This could just be another dirt down here. Just compressed dirt. Yeah. Maybe the dark and light is a bit too drastic. That's a possibility. I guess I could add this line to be like, oh, it's sitting on something. And then do this like that. Put this up like so. And have this line up. I think this is not necessary. There you go. I think that works. Yeah. 2 walls, 2 surfaces. Something says, I can't wait to be rewarded with my efforts with monthly reward of 20k Steam points for the points shop. Hey, I mean, we'll figure it out, right? I know you're helping, and I do want to compensate you somehow, so we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out for sure. I mean, obviously, I want everybody to feel fair. And I also want everybody to feel like it's worth participating into, because I want you to feel as much ownership as you can. Because guess what? I'm a leader, not a boss. So to speak. Yeah. Yes. Okay. This looks good. So we got some grass, we got some tiles. Props are probably good to draw. I have to do a new tile map though. Got the tile map here. I do wonder how they're going to manage the surface versus wall. Like, does it have to be included to the tile set? Let me see. Here's a tile set. Can I create a new tile set? A palette of tiles made from texture. A collection of scenes that can be instantiated and placed. Oh, that's pretty cool. How does this work? Drag and drop scene here. Oh, so I could create a scene and make that a tile. That could be cool. Instead of just it being tile, because that allows me to grab the scene and change its elements. Maybe that's something I want to do. Maybe not. I don't know. Okay, so we have this. Save. I suppose I should save it on the directory instead. Ah, here it is. So we're going to create a new tiles. Instead of, for the new version, we're not going to just do sprites folder. I think we're going to make it into a map folder, which is right here. I think map is that, if I remember correctly. Yeah, it's the layer. And under the map, let's say I'll create a tile set. And here I'll save this as terrain tile set. And then I'll export this real quick. Might not work. We'll see. Quaver says, yeah, just created the account and hopped right into your stream. Oh, that's nice. Thank you. Victor says, looks good. That's great. Thanks. I hope it does. I mean, I'm trying my best here. Thanks for the follow. Who cares, YouTube? Who cares, YouTube? Thanks for the follow. It sounds like a commentary on something I said. So I was like, hello? Am I doing something hateful? Okay. The Atlas texture was modified. Would you like to automatically create tiles in the Atlas? Yes. Not very automatic. We're gonna probably change these. I mean, this one is fine. This one is not. I think texture region. I wonder how the tile set with base works. Because we can be like, oh, whoops. Look at my tile. Oh, great. Well, that's exactly what I intended. I'm going to do one of these things to get a good measurement of what this is, actually. That is... Oops. Goodness. Hold on. I can do this. I can do this. I promise. Boom. Aha. That is 56 by 68. Great. Even number, right? Boom. 56 by 68. I think so. Oh, no. The whole thing is 56 by 68. 56 by 68. Yep. And then the tile region is only a proportion of that, which is 56 by 42, not including the boundary. Maybe I should include the boundary. So 56 by 43. And then we're going to have to say, I wonder if there's a way to, what is this? Margins, separation. Okay. No margin. That is not what I'm looking at. Can I? I'm sure there's a way to do this properly. Let's see. Texture. Oh, yes. I think I can change the texture origin. Let's see what that is. Who cares? YouTube says, lol, the username is very iconic. It makes people think a bit. It is iconic. It made me think for sure. Let's see what these things do. If I shift it, does it do anything? I mean, it doesn't seem like fundamentally it changes anything. Also, this is off by something. I have to say a 7, 8, 9. Oh no, probably 8 because it has that extra border. I have to do one more for that extra boundary as well. Cool. Origin. Oh, it does move it. I love it. Hello. Hold on. Did it work? I kind of think so. Minus 15 for everything though, right? It should be. Minus 15. Feels like it. And then we don't need modulation. Seems like it's working. We're definitely going to have to change all this logic eventually. Just want to make sure this works properly. Let's see. I wonder if I did like the traversable region thing. Terrain, nothing here. Y sort origin, texture origin, nothing, nothing. Doesn't seem like I did much of anything here. Occlusion layer. But we don't need that for this one, I think. Cool. Some terrains. All right. I think we want to make it so that... Hold on. I do want to do a little bit of testing here, though. Let's see. Can I save this tile set? Or is it already saved? I think it is already saved. Okay, so let's do a little bit of test here, shall we? I'm gonna hide this. Well, I don't know. I do have a lot of logic in here that I kind of need to use. I'm gonna have to do a lot of math metrics here, but okay. I could just delete all these. Let me see. All right, great. I love it. This is working just as intended, guys. Perfect. Not really. All right, let's think about this. Ah, shoot. I didn't do transparency, so let me get rid of the backdrop here First thing first, export this. Oh, thanks for the raid, Digital Iliad. I feel like I had a lot of trouble reading the last time too. Welcome, 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 raiders. We know how to do shout out, I think. Shout out, Digital Iliad. Nope, that's not how it works. / shout out. Haha, I'm still learning. After many months. Digital Iliad says, you had us at isometric tactics in Godot. Of course. All those keywords have dragged the tactics addicts into the yard or whatever. Whoa, it looks completely different here. I do like Diamond Right, but it seems like its sorting is awful here because even though this is up, it thinks it's down. So I might have to do something about this Y sort situation. Apparently when I do down, it's like, oh yeah, I get it. This works. This looks great. But I need to fix this. I'll fix it in a bit. Diamond down for the win, says Digital Iliad. I have been a diamond right person because for some reason, I keep thinking this is x-axis from 0 to 1, like positive, and then y-axis goes this way instead of the other way around. But seems like this is working better. Okay, so I guess for the raiders, we are working on... Sandbox says, it looks good, but does the grid itself remain identical apart from the different draw order? Also, I need to get rid of the gap. There's some gap issue. Gap issue. You heard it here first, folks. Actually, there isn't a gap issue. I just need to include the boundaries. Actually, not bad. Then, wow. Hey, this looks pretty good. This looks intentional. Look at that. Okay, cool. I'm like, ooh, I'm impressed by myself, by my own work. Look at me. Okay, so anyways, let me tell you what's going on here. We work on a lot of different games. We do Godot, blah, blah, blah. This particular game, I started on this. We just came back to it. This was from Pirate Gem recently, Pirate Gem 16. I'm sure you guys are all aware of it. It's available on itch. It is a tactics game that is controlled by a card play, like deck builder. And the theme was you're the weapon. So we made it so that the mana is your life. So you're sharing your life as a mana, I guess. I think that should make sense. So that means there's a concept of preserving your life by not playing the card. Now, one unique mechanic is that you can discard the card to move. So you can't see it because of my face. Here, let me get rid of my face real quick. Boop. So you can see right here on the trash down here.